I'm Benjamin, and I'm the captain of the Flying Spur. I left the southwestern Colorado ski town of Telluride after 14 years on November 10th of 2020 to begin my liveaboard life on the Flying Spur. We're going to kick this episode off with winches. Winches aren't supposed to sound like this, they should sound like this. And winches stay on the boat, so it took me a while to figure out how a tablespoon of sand would end up here. I subsequently discovered on the port side of the mast that another winch has a partially intact hornet's nest inside. These cockpit winches are brass, and brass is full of copper, so it's ripe for oxidation in the salty sea air. Honestly, this kind of maintenance is something I could do all day. It's a sort of instant gratification, and the parts are simple and elegant. I will utilize a basic winch servicing kit from Lumar that includes high-tech grease, standard machine oil, and some new springs for the pawls. Notice the resistance upon disassembly. It shouldn't be this tough to take apart if maintained regularly. WD-40, that takes the stubborn old grease and other residues off. Then a thorough cleaning with bartender's friend on a scrub pad reveals the beautiful brass underneath. Things reassemble much more smoothly after this. Off camera, I had greased all the surfaces except the pawls, which should not be greased but oiled. I am working the oil into the pawls. Back together, and only 6 more to go. We are measuring the bowsprit for an anchor roller here. The unique shape of my anchor limited my options for an anchor roller, but this stainless steel anchor roller from Kingston made in Canada is sturdy. A 1/4 inch wide for the bowsprit wasn't exactly desirable, but again, options were limited. I'll tie it off so it stays out of the water. I realized that a metal bit wasn't going to be the appropriate tool here, so I would soon make a trip to the hardware store for a wooden bit. The anchor is a spade type made by Rocna. We have 150 feet of 5/16 chain aboard Flying Spur. That affords us a 5:1 scope due to our oversized anchor. The chain is color-coded every 10 feet, orange, then green, then yellow, then green, and back to orange until all 150 feet are accounted for. This makes for quick identification to know what you've paid out at anchor. To get ready to ascend the mast, I first take the main halyard, and with a figure of 8, I attach a large diameter rope. This gets better purchase by the system and keeps the main halyard cover from getting chewed up by the ascender. I hoist the line, take a couple wraps around a winch, and cleat it off on the mast. Then, for redundancy, I cleat off the bitter end on the bow deck cleats. I put on my climbing harness and secure myself in the bosun's chair. This is the ascender, and it is at the top of the system. This is an auto belay device. It is like a brake. The rope can freely go one way, but not the other. This sling is used to put my foot through and stand on. The top of it attaches to the ascender, and the other end in my left hand is where my foot goes. I will use it to stand up while I pull the line through the auto belay device. Here is the entire system. At the top is the ascender, and the rope goes from the top of the mast down through the ascender to the auto belay device. The rope then goes from the auto belay up to the pulley that is attached to the top of the ascender, and then down to my left hand, which pulls it as my foot stands up in the sling that is attached to the bottom of the ascender. Then I sit in the bosun's chair, and the auto belay holds me while I raise the ascender and repeat the previous step. Here it is in action. I clip my bosun's chair to the auto belay, and as a backup, I take a sling attached to my climbing harness and attach it to the ascender. For yet another backup, I have a prusik sling tied to the jib halyard that I also attach to my climbing harness. I check that all carabiners are locked and the system is ready to safely ascend. Raise the ascender, step down on the sling fixed to the ascender, pull the rope to raise my bosun's chair attached to the auto belay, sit down, raise the ascender, and repeat. To get down, it's everything in reverse. So going aloft is a lot of fun, but it's business too. There's bulbs for running and anchor lighting that need replacing, and just general ongoing inspections that need documenting. We need to have some good photos and visuals so I get a more accurate estimate of what I'm going to spend when I do get her hauled out for work. I also incorporate some drone footage, but getting the drone near the standing rigging is pretty unnerving. Close-up shots when I go aloft with a camera are less so. After cutting 1-inch stainless steel tubing to the correct length, filing and then drilling holes for rivets make for a fully assembled Bimini bow. Here it is, still needing one more section between the two bows, but after that is built, we will mount the two solar panels at the top. I take the dinghy out for a quick sea trial in Broad Creek. She's super stable and a great platform for fly fishing and stand-up paddleboarding. On the next episode of Aboard the Flying Spur,
Hey Ashley,
we get a long-awaited phone call, get visited by an aquatic friend at G-Dock, and I show you around some of the facilities here at Shelter Cove. I want to thank everyone who has watched and subscribed so far, and I am so appreciative to my patrons. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below. I'd love to stay in touch that way and just keep the conversation going and make this as interactive as possible. If there's something you feel that I've left out, let me know. Again, I'd really like to keep it going back and forth, and if there's something you see that I could do better, I want to hear about it. Anyway, thanks for watching. Head over to the website. There's good information starting to accumulate there. And consider becoming a patron for exclusive content, behind the scenes information, goodies, and sincere outpouring of gratitude from yours truly. I look forward to seeing you again on the next episode of Aboard the Flying Spur.